What's happening, good people? Hope you guys had a happy gobble turkey day and all that. It's your man Banks back again with another installment of Cigar Life Banks and this Cigar Life thing that we all enjoy, right? So, man, the holiday season is upon us, and I thought today would kind of mix it up a little bit. Last week we talked a lot about are cigars addictive and things of that nature, and a lot of times that addictive can give a negative connotation. So, a lot of good feedback in the comment section. I think the overwhelming theme is that cigars are not necessarily addictive. We just love the lifestyle, right? And that lifestyle can be addictive. That vibe can be addictive, but the actual cigar itself, not so much. Well, today I decided to go a little different direction with it, man, and kind of open up about who I am and what I got going on and so on and so forth, but also about how cigars have kind of helped me out and it may help some of you out there as well, right? So as I sit back and light up, I got an Espinosa Oscuro 601, Nicaraguan binder and filler and wrapper. So I'm gonna hit this today while we talk a little bit today. I got my little cedar stick today. I picked this little jewel up today from Sandy Springs Cigars as well. Figured I'd give it a shot. Shout out to my girl Angel over at Sandy Springs Cigars. Didi and Company, Dave, Angel, Jackson, y'all got it. So I'm gonna be smoking this. Got me a little, I went throwback today, man. I had a little bit of a Remy Martin VSOP upstairs in the thing, and it was kind of hidden back in the cut. And I was like, oh shit, I can go throw. Trying not to curse in this one. I'm gonna make this one go all the way through, y'all. I promise I'm trying to do it. Well, I got me a little Cavassier, so I got my little Leon Phelps ladies man going on right here. You know, I got my Cavassier, and as I drink my Cavassier, I'm gonna have my finger up in the air of this Leon Phelps, baby, the ladies man. But we're gonna talk about this thing called therapy, man, and how cigars are really my therapy, man. I get to slow down life a lot of times when I do this and so forth and enjoy this stick. And we're going to talk about how this and the love of the leaf has been therapeutic. But today's episode is really about the men. Sorry, ladies, I got y'all coming. I promise I do. But I want to talk to my fellas as the holiday season come up and about and talk about our mental wellness, right? Our mental health, our mental stability and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a little informative, but I'm going to keep it like Banks keeps it, right? So, man, grab your stick. Grab your libations and rock out with your boy. I'm trying this thing. I got my fan. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I got a fan blowing. Oh, I'm inside, man. I'm back inside again because it's cold in Georgia. And I didn't get a chance to film during the daytime. And when I got ready to film, I realized, man, I had ran out of propane. So here we are, man. We're back in the soon-to-be Cigar Life Lounge. As soon as I get my chance to slow down and get it worked out. But we're back inside. So, man, sit back and relax. Let's light one up and let's go for it. Didn't really get it lit like I wanted to. Got to work on my cedar skills a little bit better. Got a little something. Woo, boy, I got these old school gray sweatpants. Got a little char in there now. But that's why you don't wear your good shit when you start smoking. Y'all done felt a little warming sensation on my little thigh there. It was good. It was going there. It was going down in there. I was about to get a birthmark on my inner thigh. But we got it squared away and got it worked out. And I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I ain't got time to play around. We got to get to it, right? I want to make sure I get a good burn ring so I can enjoy this thing a lot, man. So, yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to get off into this mental health thing and how I utilize cigars as a therapy, so to speak, but it's not my only form of therapy. I, too, am a proponent of therapy. I have a therapist and she's amazing. And, you know, it helps me out through a lot. And I started doing it in 2022 after my mother passed away and I was going through a divorce. So therapy really pulled me out of a dark spot, and it could be something. So we'll talk a little bit about how just, you know, opening up and being able to talk about certain things have really helped me out a lot in my journey. So sit back, relax. Cheers to you fellas, and let's get into the show. So, like we mentioned, man, men traditionally been told, you know, hey, you don't show signs of weakness. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to be this. But we're dealing with a lot from work, relationship, kids, health, the whole nine. And when we get up every day, we show up at work like it ain't nothing wrong. And when somebody asks you, hey, Banks, how you doing? We always get that all important answer. Oh, dog, I'm straight. Just making it do what it do. Well, listen, you ain't always got to be like that. Because I always say now, since I started my journey, it's okay to say you're not okay. And when you learn to do that, man, you'll find that weight or that obligation, that falsehood really has been lifted off of your shoulders and off your chest, and it allows you the ability to open up a little better and so forth. I know men don't cry. Well, that's a falsehood. We always understand that to be a false. Now that we know that's a falsehood, right? Because it is just absolutely not healthy for you to hold in and bottle in your feelings and not express yourself. And your boy had to learn the hard way. It's not a beautiful thing. It's not a manly thing. It's not a macho thing. But you got to learn to express yourself and articulate your feeling, because that inside, that silent killer will absolutely tear you apart. Now, I'll kind of give you my own thing. My mother passed away. I was going through a separation, and she passed away in July. And I'm in the house going through the motion and everything. My son goes back to school, and literally around September or so, it started getting really, well, I would say September was the first iteration I saw it, right? Woke up my 49th birthday in the middle of the night crying. Didn't really know what was going on. Just woke up in the middle of the night crying. Realized I had never had a day in my life, my birthday, without my mother being there. Rough time, but more importantly, didn't really recognize it then, but I knew that I started showing signs of depression long before that, right? Fast forward a few months, holiday season comes around, and I am just literally a recluse. Can't move, don't get out of bed, can't do this, can't do that. And for my son, my ex-wife, my best friend, you know, recognize some signs. Hey, you got to get some help. You got to do this. So that's when I started my journey. But I had, you know, people had to recognize that in me, because I was not the person to recognize. I just completely shut down. And so in that piece, I had people around me that recognized that I was not myself. I was not being myself. And then they pushed me down that path. And that didn't help. My ex-wife is a social worker. And she was like, hey, and the only way she can say it, hey, man, don't die on us. DJ needs you, I need you. And we worked together, but she was, you know, she understood that. So you need to get some help. My best friend, the same way. Hey, man, I'm coming down there to get you if you don't get out the house. Hop a flight to Cleveland. If you don't do it, I'm coming to get you. I credit them all three for basically saving my life, getting me out of my own head, but then also just getting me back to center, right? And then getting me in touch with a therapist. And that journey has been tremendous. So we'll continue to talk about that as well. Now, I realize a lot of you guys are still kind of afraid of going to talk to a stranger or open up to somebody you don't know. Well, here's where the cigar lounges come into play, right? I often say it all the time that a cigar lounge is a open door therapy session. Now, you got to be able to filter out some of the BS that comes along with it. Like, you can't always listen to the clown that's always joking and that's always mad at this, that, and the third. But what I will tell you, the cigar lounge, I witnessed it myself, where they've saved some marriages. They've been job counseling. They've been, you know, counseling for kids, alcohol sessions, the whole nine. The weight of the world is on your shoulder. I find that men a lot of time can talk more in a cigar lounge than they can do anywhere else, because they're in a safe place. And I know a lot of times we still say, hey, man, you know, saying a safe place is a place for men is kind of almost like oxymoron, but it is true. We need that. We gotta have it. We gotta talk about it, because if we don't do it, then it becomes that silent killer, right? Lost a good friend of mine 2 years ago. He committed suicide, and it totally crushed me. I was into my therapy journey, but I just thought that he was okay. And I kicked myself a lot of times by not just asking, hey, are you okay? And in availing myself as a person that he could talk to, right? But I find that in cigar lounges, whatever it is that ails you, if you're open and honest enough to talk about it, the real genuine people in that lounge will be there to support you and make sure that you're okay. I'm living proof of it. When I went on my hiatus, my home lounge, every week I'm getting 2 or 3 of the brothers, young ladies, calling me, hey, Banks, just checking in on you. You good? How you holding up? Blah, blah, blah. Do you need anything? Now, I wasn't in need of anything, but just the simple fact that I knew somebody was there looking out for me made me feel so much better about it. And in return, we do the same thing for anybody that comes through that shop. But you're open to have those conversations. Now, does that mean that everybody that you tell is going to be, a person that you can talk to about it? Absolutely not. It doesn't take very long inside of a shop to understand those individuals that you can find, that you can confide in, right? And those you be like, yeah, I don't really mess with them too much, cause they're a little bit on I'm trying not to, on the side that we don't really care too much about. Got a little bit of feminine traits to them, I'll say that. Let's go with that one. I got a little of that itch-itis in them. And so we kind of stay away from them cats when we start to talk about what's going on with us, right? And then some of them are just not in a place to where they can pour into you, right? And that's acceptable too, right? Everybody's not in a place to where they can give into you. Some people are in need of what you may have, right? Or what others may have. And they may not be, it's not intentional. They just not in a place where they can pour into you. And those individuals, it's okay to be that person too. And you got to be the listening ear, or even the person that understands or see it sometimes and be like, hey, are you okay? You doing all right? What's going on with you? Or if they share something with you about job, marriage, other relationships, kids, or what have you. And then a week or so later, it's okay to follow up and say, hey, man, I just want to check in on you, see how you were doing in X, Y, and Z situation. Or in my case, you lose a parent, you want to see a community come together to support you. They do it all day long, and then they'll check on you. We check on each other back and forth when somebody loses a parent, because that is needed. You don't have to be intrusive, but just a simple, hey, man, just calling to check in on you, see how you're doing. My line is, and I said to everybody now, I don't care if you want to call, fuss, cuss, cry, or whatever. You don't need me to give you no answer. You just need somebody to listen. Call my phone. It doesn't matter, 24 hours a day. I got you. So that's what the lounge does, and that's what the lounge provides for you. If you haven't yet experienced that in your lounge, maybe you're in the wrong lounge. Just like people say, if you're in a room with 9 dumb people, you're going to be the 10th dumb people. Sometimes they say you're in a room with 9 broke people, you're going to be the 10th broke person, right? Find a circle of people that pour into you and feed into you, and you can do vice versa, right? If you're not being pushed, if you're not being challenged in a positive manner, then that may not be the place for you, right, to grow and so forth, right? So find those brothers, and a lot of times it's those middle-aged guys that done kind of been through life, got some life experiences, probably had some kids, probably been through a divorce, or even possibly got 25, 30-year marriages. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Those are the people you want to talk to. And those are the people that can give you the advice and the help you need if you open up about it. That fan is killing my stick. I'm gonna have to rethink this thing for the winter, because I can't do it. It's blowing my stick out. I might just have to go ahead and get me a rabbit ear or something, a rabbit, and do something. I can't at this point open up and get an exhaust fan because I just ain't ready to break through the daggone wall. But I got to do something to keep the smoke moving, because if not, I'm going to have smoke all in here, all through the downstairs, and possibly upstairs in the house. And that's just not a good feeling. So we're gonna figure out something, man, before these next couple of videos, because I can't keep doing the fan, and I refuse to bundle up inside my own house, right? We'll figure it out. And the next part of that, man, is something that's not necessarily related to the lounge, but it's something that we inside the cigar community I see a lot of people kind of take for granted, right? And that's our physical health. Physical health is the primary, I would say one of the primary factors to mental health. I found that when I'm going through, some tough times, I got to clear my mind with anything. A good run, walk through the neighborhood, get the blood going and so forth. I can think clearly. Get up in the morning, try to do my 15 hot. I call them 15 push-ups, and I call them 15 hot. Just do 15 hot push-ups every day, and I'm done. I ain't got time to get up. Shout out to my people over there to go hit them bricks every morning at 3 a.m. in the morning and doing all that, to get yelled at and all that. I ain't got that kind of time. I don't like nobody yelling at me, but I just get up, do my little 15 hot, do my stretches and so forth. But I try to maintain some sort of regimen that I am physically active, right? A lot of times, man, you walk around here, you don't know your numbers, you're not getting your annual checkup, you got your blood pressure higher than the damn rent prices, and you talking about I'm fine. No, you ain't, dog. You ain't fine. We ain't 22 no more. At 53, I got to make a conscious effort not to eat past a certain time. Got to drink plenty of water, not just drinking the libations. We got to hydrate. We got to drink water. We got to do all those things, and we got to look out for ourselves. My father-in-law hit somebody that shall remain nameless, some 25 years ago with, hey, you too young to be building a shed over your tool. They looked at him, and I don't think they quite knew what he was talking about until it hit them, and they was like, oh my God. Yeah, you too young to be building a shed over your tool. High blood pressure, hypertension, all those things factor into it as well. And if your mojo ain't no longer mojoing, I can assure you that your mental is off too, cause as men in general, I guarantee there's gotta be a touchy subject. Now, if you are experiencing that, man, and you in a committed relationship, have a conversation with your lady, have a conversation with your wife about it, and then you both go seek the necessary help. Don't suffer in silence cause little Jimmy ain't Jimmy no more. That ain't, or go pop them blue diamond, them little blue pill. I promise you. If in fact I can't Jimmy how I used to Jimmy, I'm going to talk to somebody. I'm going to get that little Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie pill. I'm going to get something, because I can't see myself going the rest of this good old fashioned life without the Jimmy. So go talk to somebody, right? But your physical health is something. Now, we say a lot of times if you've been stagnant for a while, it's very difficult to get back into a physical regimen. You'll be absolutely surprised what a 5-minute walk a day will do for you, right? And then that'll get you to a 10-minute walk. If you can't do the push-ups, now listen, you in your own household. I got a group of buddies right now. We do our morning wake up, right? And then we do our morning physical activity routine, and we all hit with done. It has been amazing to see cats in their 60s, getting active, getting pushed. Then you see their wife like, I ain't know what he was doing in there, doing them push-ups. I hear him in there grunting, but now he ain't grunting no more. He's getting it in, and then so forth. We just started with baby steps. So do yourself a favor. We know cigars are not the most detrimental to your health, and are they good for you? This is up. Mentally, it's good for me. It calms me down and soothes me. But there'll be some argument about that, right? But if you're going to smoke this and be a lover of the leaf, take care of your body physically, right? Get out there and get active. A 5-minute walk a day will absolutely help you out. Find you some accountability partners. Some of the cats that's inside the cigar lounge, that, there's some physically fit cats, and there's some health nuts inside of one of my good friends. Shout out to Mike Bell. He's a pescatarian health nut. His brother Mario the same way. But Mike is a cigar smoker, and you find somebody that's doing something you want to do, right? Or maybe, getting moving on a daily basis, right? Just get active, man. And if you do that, you'll find that you'll get some mental clarity as well, and it'll allow you to think. I don't know if it's the endorphins or whatever it is. I ain't got the technical name for it. But what I can tell you is that when I get some physical activity going, heart rate gets to going a little bit, breathing get to get a little heavier, I get to thinking a lot clearer. And that's a good thing for me because it allows me to get on with my day and get moving and get some stuff accomplished. Because what I can tell you is when that depression and that mental episode starts to hit you, it debilitates you like ain't nobody's business. Like somebody took the starter out to 69 Chevy. It ain't going nowhere. It's that powerful and it's that hard. So you got to make a conscious effort to do some physical activity to get that moving, and then it'll clear you up to get everything else in order. You got a temple, you only got one of them. Take good care of it. Now, I ain't out here trying to be Mr. Olympia. I ain't out here trying to be the sexiest man alive, although I ain't far from it. I don't care what y'all say. I'm in the running. But I am going to take care of myself. And I was told a few months ago, I'm over 50 and I don't have man boobs, so I'm winning. So I'm going to keep on winning, and I want y'all to keep on winning with me, all right? And I'm going to turn this fan off. I'm going to suffer down here inside. I do have my windows behind me, but it's getting very difficult to get through this first third with this fan blowing. So I'm going to through the miracle of editing, I'm going to step over there and turn that fan off or point in another direction to do something. Then I'll be right back. Boom. I'm back. You ain't even missing. Did it real quick. That's because I do my push-ups every day. Them 15 hot push-ups, I do them every day. You didn't even know I disappeared that quick. So check it. The next one is the art of slowing down, man. Now I know in this rat race, we got to get it. We got to go. We got to go. But sometimes you got to slow down. Now, in slowing down, I like to think of a cigar. Cigar is something that teaches us patience, right? You enjoy this cigar a lot better when you're patient with it. You light it too fast, you're up close and you're doing all that, you're burning, you interrupt the intended flavor for this stick, right? You take your time when you toast it. You take your time when you draw. You pull it. You draw on it, pull it. You guys gonna say what you want to say. And you let it rest. And then you re-engage it again, right? That teaches patience. And in doing that, you can enjoy the intended flavor or the intended taste or what have you of this particular cigar. Now that's huge. But what I relate to that is in doing that patience, sometimes you got to stop and sit down. You ever jumped up too quick, and the older you get, you understand it. You jump your behind up too quick and all of a sudden your body do a system reset. Like, whoa, buddy. Take your time. Well, in the mornings, I like to take my time and do some meditation, do some deep breathing and so forth while I'm preparing my day. Now, do you got to get up and go nombre? Nah, you got to do all that. But you got to take some time to yourself. You got to take some time to gather your thoughts, deep breaths, and move on with your day. Now, do I get up, do Indian style and say, nah, I might sit up in the bed. Deep breaths, eyes closed, thinking about my day. And when my feet hit the ground, I do my stretches and I get ready to start pushing the floor, right? That's me. Drink some water too. I keep water by on the nightstand. But I say all that to say, you got to learn to slow down and reflect and take care of self. I tell my clients all the time, when we sit down and do an assessment, what's your biggest asset? 9 out of 10 of them say their home, their cars, their bank account, their 401k, their retirement, yada, yada, yada. Most of them miss it. Your greatest asset is yourself. Because your inability to produce and do the things you need to do, your entire foundation can fall apart. So you gotta start with protecting and taking care of yourself. And that's by slowing down, man. Yes, you can run. And if you're not an entrepreneur and you work for somebody else, you can run yourself into the ground. And the next day they're gonna have a job posting with your name on it. 20 some years ago, back in 1990, 99. I was working as a hardware engineer for Hewlett Packard, and I was in the supercomputer call center, help desk center, and 2-3 times a week, you'll hear code blue, and they'll give out the aisle, and the little lights will go off, and then the little first response team there on site will go out, and there's somebody having a heart attack, having a panic attack, doing all this. It's a stressful time, a stressful job, right? And I made a promise to myself at that point, I was still fairly young, that I'll never, ever, ever kill over on the floor of some job. If the military didn't break me, my daddy didn't break me, and my daddy was a driver, my mom was a driver, didn't break me, I'd be daggone if I'm gonna let these little computers in Hewlett Packard break me. So I made a promise then. I didn't take my job home. I wasn't the type of person that goes home and then take out my frustration on my family, nor did I bring my family situation to my job. So I learned to separate the two. If I was having issues at the house, I left it at the door when I walked into the office. If I was having issues at the job, I left it at the door when I walked out and got in my car. But I learned to slow down. I was just telling a couple of guys the other night as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today. I do my best thinking and my best time now that I've moved 40 minutes away from the shop. That drive from the shop to my house is my best time to sit back and relax and just talk to myself and be in my own thoughts about what I need to do. It's an amazing feeling, but I do it all while doing what? Smoking. I smoke in my car. Huh? So, I take that time and I've learned some patience and it's done me well. I hope you guys have that. And please share with me what some of your methods of meditation or just self-reflection are and how you've helped yourself or others, kind of be a better version of yourself, right? Because that's important. And I share this a lot, and I'm not just sharing it with you guys. I tell everybody that want to hear it now because I am proud to say that therapy has literally changed my life. Not having these tools of, meditation. I was always fairly active, so I didn't necessarily have that. But the ability to speak to somebody, quite frankly, cost me a marriage, right? Because I was unable to articulate how I felt in certain situations and how certain things dealt with. And then I also didn't know how to, manage that, right? Outbursts, anger outbursts, the whole nine. Was some of the things that I had to deal with, but also it taught me how to relate to some of the things that I had as childhood trauma, right? That I never really realized. And that's an amazing, that in itself is an entire another chapter in a book, right? That we went through things as kids that we didn't necessarily realize was trauma. And then when you understand, you start to look at it and you start to actually break it down and dissect it, you realize that you had some trauma as a kid and you got to address those things. And you got to be open and honest with yourself about it and be to talk to somebody to actually move forward in life. So I'll tell you this, patience is a virtue. That little, was a Nesquik commercial, whatever, patience is a virtue. I don't even know what it was. But yeah, it truly is a virtue, man. So learn to take your time. And if you learn how to take your time with this, you might learn how to take your time with your old lady. And who knows what that may give you back. I'm just saying, it's your boy Banks. I'm here to help y'all on all facets, man. Take my advice. But then again, it could be just entertainment purposes only. Now, I'll kind of give you guys some of my keys to how I manage certain things, from the patience, the exercise, speaking to people inside of the lounges and so forth, and then just articulating it, right? And being open and honest with myself about what's going on. Now, if you don't do some of those things, I ain't saying you a candidate for some of this, but I'm not sure if you guys understand that men, because of the amount of stress that we're on, make up 80% of this country's suicide rate, right? Now, women may attempt it a lot more, and some people deem that as just attention seeking, but men make up 80% of all suicide. And that's why I'm speaking to the men today, right? That we got to recognize, and especially it shows itself during the holiday time, right? Where you may feel like you're not doing enough, you don't have enough, or you're missing a loved one or a family member and things of that nature. You just got to be able to say, hey, today I'm not doing okay. That's an important step in getting you the help that you need. Now, we're not even going to talk about from a veteran standpoint with the PTSD and things of that nature and all that we've endured, right? Yeah, I'm going to bring this baby back to life. Now, you got to know that I did a push on that and push some smoke out to kind of restart this thing, right? There we go. So, yeah. So, be aware. Check on your strong friends that they will during this time. And if they need to, I'm going to give you guys a number that you guys can dial in order to seek some help, either yourself or pass this number along. Now, if you ever find yourself in a situation where life seems a little too heavy and you don't have anybody you can talk to in your circle, you can call or text the number 988. And that's a national suicide number, right? And that number will ring out to your mobile device or what have you to somebody that can support you. Now, once it answers, if you're a veteran, you can hit 1 and they'll put you in touch with somebody that specializes in dealing with veterans, right? But the number is 988. Call or text 24 hours a day to get the help that you may need or somebody may need. Don't try to be a counselor yourself if you're not equipped to it, right? Get them in touch with the right person, right? Find somebody you can trust, but that number is 988. You can either call it or text it, and you can get the help that you or your loved one or your friend deserves, right? Again, if they're a veteran, once somebody answers the phone or once the call connects, just hit the number 1, and they'll connect you to somebody with veteran services, somebody that can deal and talk directly to veterans, okay? Now, that's my PSA, and we'll get back to the show. Now, this next piece is about the legacy, the purpose, and the journey. Now, we've talked a lot about, how lounges can be a place of comfort, a safe place to start, health, physical fitness, talking to somebody, being able to express yourself and how those things can do it and the negative impact of that, right? But we do it all for one reason, man. And that purpose is, man, to pass on your legacy and to live a life. I heard somebody say, what will somebody say about that dash? You're born in 1969 to dash to 2024. What did you do in that dash? How did you feel that dash? How would you be remembered? Right? You want to feel it and be remembered as a person of character, purpose, and so forth, of love. And if you got kids, you want to be able to pass down something they will remember you for and be a positive impact on people's lives. Well, you can't do that again, like I said, if you're not in the right place. Well-intended as well, but you got to make sure that we break the stereotype and break the myth that therapy is not for men or men don't seek out therapy. Therapy can come in many different shape, forms, or fashion. This is my therapy as well because I get to tell people that, hey, the Banks you see has had to go and transform. There are people that have known me when I was a kid, knucklehead and adult, as a knucklehead and so forth, and they can see that. Now, am I a finished product? By absolutely no means, I am not. It's an ongoing process, and I continue to work at it day in and day out. But the worst thing that I can tell you, if I leave here and I have negatively impacted my kid in a way that he is now a messed up adult and he can't deal with certain things and so forth, then my legacy has, we got ghosts in here. Nah, the window's open, the wind's blowing. So, I live with a life of purpose. I try to as well, right? And there is no perfect way of doing it. There's only been one person to walk this earth that has been perfect, and that was Jesus Christ. Now, not to turn into a religious thing, whatever your denomination is, you take it for what it is and you understand where I'm going with this, right? So don't be so hard on yourself, but allow yourself to be the best version of yourself. So by leaving a legacy, living a life of purpose, and also by being vulnerable enough that you can seek out the help, you can pass on something to your kids, your grandkids. They can say, Paw was an amazing man. Paw did this. Paw worked his behind off. Paw provided this and provided this foundation in this place for us to grow and continue to move our namesake forward. And that's all we want to do, right? Leave this place in a better place than when we found it. Or like the old people used to say, I want my kids to live a better life than I did, and so on and so forth. So that's what we do it for. Now, I'm inside of the first third and still going. The draw is kind of hard for me. At first I thought it was the fan. I got a nice V cut on it, so I'm not sure what it is. I got a nice even burn ring around it. So it's peppery. Some woody notes in that. Not so much leathery, and I think as it's starting to open up just a tad bit, right? So I'm starting to enjoy it. It's not bad. I hadn't hit any of this kibasi. I just been running my damn mouth. So I'm gonna take a smoke and a drink break and see how this thing works out. Now, fellas, I realize in our comment section, you guys open up a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. So tell me what you guys do. Drop a comment down below about, if you've managed yourself through any kind of, mental episodes, you're battling with depression right now, you've helping people out, what kind of situation or what kind of environment is in the lounge you're dealing with. And if you haven't found a lounge in your area, I would encourage you to do so, right? The Love of the Leaf does a whole lot of stuff, right? But more importantly, it brings people together. We talked last week about cigars being an addiction. It's not really the addiction. It's more so about the vibe, the enjoyment, the company, the camaraderie, the fellowship, and so forth. And along with that fellowship, you develop friends and family, right? Now, they may not be your blood. You can't really choose your blood, but you can choose your friend. And this allows you to do so. A lot of people I've noticed in the comment section have said, I've yet to go to a lounge. I'm thinking about going to a lounge and so forth. I encourage you to go. It is probably one of the most, I'm gonna say, relaxing times I have during the day. And I hit several lounges around the city. And each one of them has their own unique vibe to it, right? But you find what kind of mood you're into. A lot of the lounges, I go to a lot of lounges, right, where you can sit down and talk, maybe one or two televisions, but most of it's about the conversation, right? And I found a lot of enjoyment in that. Now, there are a lot of places I go to where there's a club scene at nighttime and so forth, and that's for a totally different reason, right? But, for enjoyment, relaxation, and so forth, I get out and find me a good lounge. So I urge you to do the same. And it also allows you to learn more about this leaf, right? Conversation and different palettes. You get to talk to individuals about that and then learn more about it. And then you get connected to like the Tampa Cigar Week, the Tampa Cigar Festival this weekend. A lot of my people are going down to Tampa. You get to meet other people from other areas that do this and love this as well. They invite you to other places and so forth. So the broader communities, comes in play, right? So I urge you to do that and so forth. And if you are the person that likes to sit in your man cave, your garage, on your patio and smoke alone, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Sometimes that is your comfort zone. Sometimes that is your relaxation place. That's where you can exhale and kind of woosah, right? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if I tell you to experience the entire diaspora, I'll use a big word on that, diaspora of the cigar world, get out and find you a lounge, man. Socialize with other people, brothers and sisters of the leaf, and you'll probably find a little bit more enjoyment in that, right? No, she opening it up now. At first, there was a little tricky. It might have been because of my fan, so I'm not gonna knock the Espinosa score on that one, and it very well could have been the fact that I had that fan blowing right at me, trying to get the smoke to go out behind these thick curtains here. I got the windows open, right? So it's not as cold as it might be, but I was trying to push the smoke that way and kind of circulate the smoke. So I might have impeded my enjoyment of this fresh cigar. Yeah, but now she opening up like a strip at Magic City. I keep doing it. But I didn't say nothing wrong, and I'm doing good, and I'm about to close this thing out. I ain't said a whole lot of filth, and I ain't got to apologize to y'all mamas that they out there listening today. So this one might work out for you, boy. So like it, comment, subscribe. Man, hit the notification bell because I've been monetized, thanks to you guys, for a long time. And, you know, I've been told that, hey, you're killing your monetization. I care, but I don't really care because I got to be my authentic self. And I challenge myself in pushing myself forward. Can I do one that can get a green check on it, right? And I think I'm well on the way right now. I'm almost there. I'm about to close this thing out, so we'll see how it goes. So in closing, right, I'll give you this one. The acknowledgement of mental health, the acknowledgement of mental wellness is not a knock on you. It's not a knock on your manhood. It ain't soft. It ain't anything. In fact, I will tell you, it's quite the contrary. Those individuals that are in tune with themselves and can speak and can articulate their feelings about certain things and have the ability to say, you know what, today I'm not okay, and express that and not feel any way about it, those are some of the toughest people you may find. Because that part and that journey is a very difficult thing to do. I've gotten to the point where I can do it, and I'm enjoying my life as it is right now, right? So I'll tell you this. You know, this comment section, this community could be that bridge for you. We're not therapists. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I'm feeling kind of therapy. Now I'm just joking, really just joking. I don't read the DSM-4, didn't read the 4, don't read the 5. I'm not any of that, but I will tell you this: veteran, man, brother, sister, what have you, find somebody that you can confide in if you are not feeling your best, and be open and honest about how it is you feel. You'll find out that you'll get through this. And like the old saying, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. But I can tell you this, tomorrow is a much brighter future with you in it. Enjoy this lifestyle and tell somebody you love them, dog. Tell somebody you love them. Because there's somebody out there that loves you and they want you around. Man, enjoy your holidays. The holidays are coming up. And I'm trying to find it in myself to get into the holiday spirit. Probably gonna throw on some of that Boys to Men, that Motown Christmas music here in a second and groove out to it. But that's my 2 cents. As always, you can follow us on all social media platforms, Cigar Life CL. So that's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can always shop the gear, the Cigar Life CL, the Cigarpreneur, the Stogies and Bogies, the pastries, if you know, you know, all at cigarlifecl.com. It's your boy Cigar Life Banks. As always, man, thank y'all. Y'all rock. I appreciate y'all. Let's make this thing even bigger. 2026, we got to figure something out. I don't know what I'm going to do in 2026, Cavatier, and I'm getting that heavy tongue like man, Leon Phelps. It's got to be a bigger one because right now we're over 15,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate the love. So let's keep going, man. Cigar Life Banks, I'm out.